long.
I
Hello?
see that.
Hello,
It's
this
gonna
is
be a
Felicia
first for
from-
a town board meeting, huh?
Hello, this is Felicia from Woodstock 104.
Hi,
Hello, Felicia.
Hi. Okay, I'm
Ashley,
gonna
just
mute
note
myself.
that Felicia is here as a member of the press.
Okay, and I think Bill Kimball came in too.
I saw a William there.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second.
The gorilla made the motion to adjourn. The hummingbird seconded it. It's sort of a dichotomy of creatures from the wild.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
Yep. Mhm. I had to actually get out of the way on one of them because otherwise he would have gone through me.
I'd recommend it. If they want something, you might want to consider letting them have their way.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, how would you like somebody to say that about your daughter, dumbass?
Excuse me?
What was that?
I don't know, but whoever it was should mute themselves.
I mean, if she was referring to me, the dumbass thing wasn't wrong, but it's
Not at the appropriate time, though.
well, most of the time, but not in public.
Right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Or put differently, let people discover it on their own. Quiet, Ashley.
Okay, so I see it is 7 o'clock and I see Maria-Elena and Laura are on, and Reggie, you're on, Reggie?
Yes, I am.
And I see Bennett's on. So the board is here, so I'll call the meeting to order. The Woodstock Town Board meeting of April 12th, and move right into resolutions. Whereas Woodstock Resolution 72-2022 authorized the transfer from the Highway Equipment Capital Reserve Type Fund pursuant to permissive referendum, and whereas the time to file and execute such permissive referendum has expired, and I should add in there, and where no permissive referendum was filed, therefore be it resolved to transfer from the Highway Equipment Capital Reserve Fund not to exceed $200,000 for the following: for a new or used wheel loader, $170,000, and for a 20-ton trailer, $30,000.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody have a comment? Be it resolved to use funds from the Tree Trust and Agency accounts to plant memorial trees in honor of the following Woodstockers: Jane Allen, Andre Neer, Michael Lang, Don Gregorius, Jerry Washington, and David Gross.
I'll second that unless Bennett wants to as liaison to the tree committee.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And just a reminder that folks can donate to the Tree Trust and Agency account. It is a deduction. And if you write in the memo for the Tree Trust and Agency account, you can also, if you want to specify a particular individual that we've named that the donation would go to, that's fine. And if you have other folks that you think may be worthy, and there are a lot of them out there, feel free to send in names and recommendations to the Woodstock Town Board, and we can mull that over and make further resolutions. Ashley, also, I see that Nick Henderson is on here, so we have 3 members of the press.
Yes,
Hello.
I also have Cindy Murrow has her hand up. I don't know if you want to take that, being she's on the tree committee.
Is it about that resolution, Cindy?
Yes.
Okay,
I just wanted to check in. I mean, I do not know what it means to be a resolution other than to say that you're going to do something. But I had some concerns about it, such as who is managing it.
well, the
And
town board manages it.
I've also had experience when I worked for 18 years at the Mohawk Mountain House with memorial tree. We had a memorial tree program there. And so I don't know if I, need to come and speak with the board about, some of the issues around managing a memorial tree program, because sometimes people give money for a tree and then they have expectations
Mhm.
that the tree, they come to visit the tree and it will be there in perpetuity. And then we have ice storms and hurricanes and things like that. And so I don't know whether it's more appropriate to speak to them after the fact about managing it, because I don't.
Why don't you give me a call tomorrow at the office and we can chat about that and perhaps come up with some guidelines and expectations.
Absolutely.
Thank
I
you,
will do
Cindy.
that. And I'm also, quite a bit dismayed that there's seems to be a lot of enthusiasm for planting trees. And on the other side of that, there's not too much support for protecting the trees that we already have.
Mhm.
And so I'd like to, speak further about those things so that we're not just planting new trees and then cutting down all the old trees.
Okay, well, this isn't the appropriate time. We can do that at another date.
Okay,
But thank you. And if you and I can talk tomorrow, that'd be great.
very well then.
Be it
Okay,
resolved to hire.
Bennett's hand is also up. I don't know if you saw it, Bill.
I didn't. I don't see Bennett. Oh, there's Bennett. Bennett?
So the issue that Cindy is bringing forward is one involving money as well as trees and maintenance funding for the trees and maintenance funding for the memorial trees is something that the resolution doesn't speak to, that the tree committee discussed and believes is something that should be included. So it has to do with funding for these trees as well.
Okay, well, that's something we can talk about during the budget process in October. Okay, be it resolved to hire Tracy Lane to the Highway Department for full-time MEO position, grade 3, hourly rate of $22.53, starting April 18th, 2022.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Be it resolved to hire Angelo Ramos to the Highway Department for full-time HMEO position, grade 3, hourly rate of $22.53, starting May 2nd, 2022.
A lot of shy people. I'm trying to give the other board members an opportunity.
Second, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Be it resolved to authorize the town clerk's office to advertise for summer recreation employment in the Hudson Valley One paper.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Be it resolved to accept the retirement of John Amoroso effective April 22nd, 2022, and be it further resolved to recognize and thank John for his many years of service to the town of Woodstock Police Department.
Second.
second that.
I think we had 3 seconds for that. I heard Maria-Elena, right? Did I hear Maria-Elena?
A lot of seconds there. All in favor?
Aye.
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 With
And,
thank you to John Bill just for all his service. He's been great to work with, a great member of our police force.
Absolutely.
Great
Is-
reputation amongst members in the town, and just as someone who's kind, approachable, fair. Yeah, he's definitely going to be missed. It's definitely a loss for
Absolutely.
right now.
Be resolved upon receipt of completed Family Medical Leave Act form to approve a paid, unpaid leave of absence for Dennis Lyman effective April 13th, 2022.
Second? Oh, Reggie got it.
And Dennis is a full-time police officer who's gone out on medical leave for, we're not really sure how long, but this protects his position. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whereas the Woodstock Public Library District of the library is a duly chartered special district public library having elected board of trustees consisting of 11 board members elected at large in the town of Woodstock, which possesses the power to direct the town to levy taxes for the library purposes. And whereas the library is developing plans for the redevelopment and use of an existing building located at 10 Dixon Avenue at the town of Woodstock to provide expanded modern library services to the community, the project. And whereas the project will involve interior improvements to an installation elevator to the existing building. And whereas the redeveloped building will allow the library to meet its governmental functions and provide expanded modern library and community facilities and services to the residents of Woodstock and allow the library to continue its existing programming to the community during construction. And whereas the library, being a separate municipal entity, has asserted its right to an exemption from the town of Woodstock zoning code and other land use codes, specifically chapter 260, attachment A, schedule of use regulations B, which prohibits cultural facilities in an LI district, light industrial. And whereas the town recognizes that in support of its position that is eligible for the exemption from the town zoning code, the library has submitted a letter dated January 27, 2022 from David R. Everett to Jeffrey Collins, library president, and a letter dated January 28, 2022 from Jeffrey Collins to Bill McKenna, town supervisor, which are attached here to and incorporated as Exhibit A. Now, therefore be it resolved that the project is exempt from the town's zoning code, and be it further resolved, the library agrees to hold a public informational presentation regarding the project at a town board meeting with the time and location to be set by the town board. And whereas the town board and the library will provide public notice and provide a public with the right to be heard concerning the project. And whereas be it further resolved, the town's building department will be the permitting agency for building permits and building code review of the project. Be it further resolved that the project must conform to all state and federal requirements and regulations, including environmental law and regulations. Be it further resolved, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Second.
All in favor?
Discussion, please.
Okay.
I'm ready to
Yes.
talk.
No,
I would like
it's
to-
just,
I would-
there's a motion at the table. It's only the board.
I would like to offer an amendment to this. I have sent it to the board, and it is.
There's a motion on the table.
The motion, this is a motion to amend the resolution. That is the point. That is the Robert's Rules of Order, Bill. You have to ask for a second now for the amendment. The amendment has been distributed to the board members.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. A vote on the amendments?
Well, can
So-
we discuss that first?
Sure.
So, I had a couple of
Excuse me, can
concerns.
somebody tell us what the amendment reads, please?
The amendment reads, resolution recognizing the library district's exemption from the town of Woodstock's Code, Chapter 260, Attachment A, Schedule of Use Regulations B. That is the title. And then it amends the section that says, now therefore, be it resolved that the town of Woodstock recognizes the Woodstock Library District's exemption from Woodstock's Code, Chapter 260, Attachment A, Schedule of Use Regulation B. And then at the very end, it says, be it further resolved that the project must conform to all local, it adds local, state and federal requirements and regulations, including environmental laws and regulations, and then adds, but excluding Woodstock's Code, Chapter 260, Attachment A, Schedule of Use Regulation B. That is the amendment. And
So explain to me, Bennett, I'm a little confused. We got a resolution from the library's attorney. It was reviewed by the town's attorney. Everybody was in agreement. You were in disagreement. You wanted other things. You argued with the town attorney for a while. Then we decided we would go the route of a resolution. I offered a resolution. You specifically refused to acknowledge a resolution written by the supervisor, and you insisted that it be written by an attorney. The library's attorney wrote another resolution. The town board's, the town's attorney confirmed the resolution and gave it his blessing. And yet now you're offering your own resolution. So explain to me why your resolution is acceptable when mine, you wouldn't accept mine.
Bill, it is not about your resolution or my resolution. What this amendment does.
Bennett, the question I asked was, explain to me why you would not entertain a motion written by me, but you would now offer your own resolution. Explain to us how that's.
I believe that this amendment needs to be looked at by the attorney. I certainly believe that an attorney should look at it. I am not claiming that it shouldn't.
But why? What attorney is going to look at it? Because our attorney has already looked at an MOU and the other resolution and signed off on it. But now
if I may, Bill, if I may.
Now you found. Hold on. Now you find it unacceptable.
Bill,
Explain that.
I have never said that I support this resolution that you offered, and you are just now telling us that the town's attorney has done that. There is no communication in which you have told us that the town attorney.
You got the emails, Bennett. That's not,
no, Bill.
That's
you
not
said
true.
that.
You got the
No,
emails.
Bill.
You argued with the attorney.
No, Bill, that was over the MOU, which it has now been changed to a resolution.
No. You got the email from Rod and you even responded to it.
No,
Yes,
Bill,
you did.
not on this resolution. You are, I refuse to be bullied by you about this. I'm going to tell you why I have offered this amendment to the resolution. I believe that it is more responsible for the town to recognize the library district's right to move to the light industrial district. It is the law that says the library can do that as a municipality, and we recognize that in this resolution. I believe that the resolution that has been offered, that is before us, unamended, that resolution offers exemptions to a project. And I do not believe that the town board should be offering exemptions to a project. I believe that we should be offering an exemption to the library district to locate in the light industrial area. I firmly disagree that the town board should be offering exemptions to projects that are being built.
Well, that's the way the Monroe doctrine works. The case that came out of Rochester versus Monroe County, where we are specifically authorized to do that.
You know, Bill, I am offering this amendment because it is more responsible. It is more focused. It does not offer a project exemptions to do interior renovations. Instead, it offers the library district an exemption to locate in the light industrial district.
Yes,
that is
and
all.
so
That is all that is necessary for the bonding agency to agree for the bond.
Well, the bonding agency has requested the resolution that I'm offering now, that Rod has signed off on, that you
Bill,
actually responded to on April 8th.
You are claiming something that you have not let the other board members know about. The bonding agency is not requesting this resolution. You offered it up at 4 o'clock today.
That's not true. You got
Bill,
this.
you sent a version of it around
2 weeks ago.
and said that you would send it to the attorney.
And
Bill.
it was all done on the 7th of April.
And you did not.
You're not being honest, Bennett.
No, the other board members know that we just received this at 4 o'clock today. We received this amendment at 4 o'clock today. It was not on the agenda, on the preliminary agenda. you said that you were sending this to the attorney. We have not heard that the attorney has looked at it or blessed it, as you say. And even though I agree that this is a strong amendment, I believe the substitute is a stronger, more responsible amendment. One that will let the library locate in the light industrial district, not exempt certain parts of its project. I do not believe we should be exempting certain parts of any project. That
Well,
is
what
not
we're
the town board's-
exempting, we're permitting the library to be located in LI district. With that permission, gives them the ability, without oversight, to do interior renovations. It doesn't permit them to do any more.
And my amendment does not recognize.
Your amendment
that-
hasn't, this is what a town attorney has blessed, and this is what the library attorney has blessed.
Bill, the town attorney has not sent to the town board anything saying that this specific resolution that you offered at 4 o'clock today is good. The town attorney has not.
Bennett,
looked
you're
at
not
this
being
amendment.
honest, because you got this.
Can I just
resolution
interrupt and just
back-
ask as
back
far
on
as,
April 7th.
sorry, just a question. The
Go ahead,
4
Reggie.
o'clock email, I don't even see that because my understanding is what you sent today, we had already been sent before.
Right,
today.
the agenda, the
So-
4 o'clock email is the agenda. Bill sent this out on April 7th at 1:56 PM. So I have the email where Bill sent this resolution to all of us. So it just wasn't a surprise at 4 PM because everybody got this resolution earlier. So
It was a
this resolution
surprise that it
received
was
April
going to
7th.
be on the agenda.
I put on Friday that I'd have a resolution for the library.
I'm not
Bennett,
aware of that.
if you
Bill.
want to oppose the project, then just oppose it.
Bill, I have
This
a
is what
sign.
the library.
I will not be
board has
bullied
asked
by
for
you,
this.
Supervisor Bill McKenna. You cannot tell people what they are or are not thinking. This is abusive, Bill. I am terribly sorry that you're behaving like this, but it is abusive. I support the library project. I have always said that I do. I have a sign in front of my house right
Excellent.
this very moment that says, vote for the library bond. I believe that the strongest thing for the town board to do is to grant the exemption for the library district to locate in the light industrial district. I do not believe that offering project exemptions is what we should be doing.
This
I have a
offers
quick
them the
question.
right to locate up there.
And it offers exemptions for them to perform project work in the interior.
Which is what they're entitled to do if they are permitted. Our zoning law allows that, Bennett. Read the zoning law.
I have read the zoning law and I have read the Monroe Doctrine, as you called it.
The
and-
Monroe, not doctrine.
Thank you. And I believe that the amendment is a tighter way for the town to be more responsible as we offer the exemption to the library to move to the light industrial district without offering it any project exemptions.
If we permit them to be there, then they will be automatically entitled to do interior renovations. We're stating that clearly in the resolution.
So you
Your
then won't
resolution
have any
doesn't state
problem
that.
supporting my amendment because you're stating that that's what it would allow. I believe it is wrong for the town of Woodstock's board to offer specific amendments to zoning, and that's what this is doing in the resolution that you're offering.
Actually, the law case permits us to do that very thing. And it has been upheld in several other lawsuits.
It doesn't mean you
It's
have
also
to
been
do
held
it.
up by the town
Does not
attorney.
mean you have to do it. I'm not
It's a
suggesting
town
that it's
attorney, the
legal
library
or
attorney.
illegal.
Laura?
Yeah, okay. So my position is as Bill said before, we had an MOU that the library's attorney approved, our attorney approved, the chair of the library board approved, and people, someone on the board wanted to investigate further, so we did. And we did spend attorney money to go investigate further. And now we have an agreement that yes, we could do a resolution. And now we have a resolution that the library's attorney approves, our attorney approves, and I would like to see us move forward. I am totally okay with the resolution as it stands right now. I am totally okay. It protects the town, I believe, because it identifies there is a project. I heard Bennett when he said he doesn't think we should be approving a project, but it does put boundaries on it. It says this is a project. We are approving this project, and we're also approving that they can move into the light industrial area. The library does need this. I feel the town is sufficiently protected, and I don't see a reason to prolong this further, because we've already prolonged this quite a while now with all this back and forth, going from one satisfactory solution, looking for another satisfactory solution. We've been prolonging this. The library vote is May 10th, and I believe this resolution as it stands does protect us properly. We all agree, I think we all five of us agree, that we do want the library to move forward. And my preference is to say no to the friendly amendment to the resolution and say yes to the resolution itself. And I'm not sure at what point we can call the vote, because we could talk a long time about this and people aren't going to agree. But I just wanted to weigh in on that.
I'll let Reggie and Maria-Elena weigh in, and then I'll call the vote.
Maria-Elena, would you like to go?
I have a question. Why exempt a project from building codes? Like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't seem like that would be protecting the town.
Maria-Elena, we're not exempting it from building codes. We can't exempt it from building codes. What we're exempting it from is the use table, where it says that it's not permitted. We are saying, because they are an independent municipality with a duly elected board, that they are entitled to some exemptions from our local zoning law. That's what this.
What are the exemptions? What are some of the exemptions?
Who is that?
It's Maria-Elena. What are the exemptions?
That we're exempting them from the use code, which says they're not permitted.
To move to the LI?
Yes. We are saying that we are exempting them from that. And in connection with that, if we saying they are permitted, then they are permitted to do interior renovations. I had a long talk with John Ludwig earlier today, and any other changes to their projects beyond interior renovations must come back to the town for site plan review or a further resolution or an MOU. So this doesn't give them, people have said this gives them a blanket ability to do whatever they want. It does not. It solely says it's a permitted use in that zone. We recognize that they're exempt, that they're a permitted use, and therefore they can do the interior renovations that they need to be a library. And that's what's going to help them get the bond or be able to go up for bonding. That's what their attorney has asked for. That's what our attorney has signed off on. And that's where we are.
Did we get an email from the town attorney?
Did yeah.
See that? Because I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
You were all part of the string when I sent it to him.
Well, were we on the string when you sent it to him? I would have to look and see whether I see a response back from him, but I know you're in communication with the attorney. Mm-hmm. So it might have been a conversation you had. It might not have been an email that he sent back.
Oh, no, there were emails back and forth.
I don't have that email.
But he's just saying, was there a specific one, Bill, with this resolution and the language in it that came back from Rod saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let us know where that is, like what date, if you have it in front of you.
I don't have it in front of me, no.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any other questions, Maria-Elena?
I mean, the bonding agency, they just need to know that that the town supports moving to the LI district, but that's all they need, right? They don't need anything else.
The attorney has written this resolution. It's not my resolution, it's their resolution. So I have to assume that this is what they require. They wanted an MOU. So they're taking a leap of faith that the town isn't going to undo the resolution next week. An MOU would have been a signed contract that couldn't have been changed. this leaves it open-ended. The board could turn around and undo the resolution next week. I think they're going on good faith that once we give our word, we're not going to change it.
Have you found that letter from the attorney yet?
Oh, no, I'm not looking for it. I don't have my emails up.
Does it exist?
Oh, wow, Bennett, that's really. Reggie, do you have any questions?
Do I have any questions?
Okay. We want to vote on Bennett's motion?
I
That
call
would be
for the
Robert's Rules
question.
of Order to do that, I think.
I call for
What?
the question.
Yeah, I just did.
So I vote against changing the MOU. So I vote against
Bennett?
Bennett's resolution.
I vote yes.
Reggie?
No.
Maria-Elena?
I vote yes.
I vote no. The motion to not change carries. The motion on the table, the resolution for the for the library. All in favor? Laura?
I move that we lay this on the table until the attorney's letter is.
The question is on
found.
the question is on the table. Laura?
I say yes.
Bennett?
Point of order.
Bennett?
Point of order, Bill.
Reggie?
No, Bennett is talking to you, so
Point
let's,
of
I don't
order.
want to ignore him. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I move that we lay this on the table until the town attorney's letter concerning this resolution is found and circulated to all of the board members.
There's a resolution on the table.
Yes.
Well, do we have to vote? Does Robert's Rule of Order say we need to vote?
We
on the
don't follow
table?
Robert's rules, just for the record, but
I move that we lay this resolution on the table. It needs a second.
In the interest of transparency, and if we can do this next week, I know it's getting close, I will second that. So we can have that, so there will be no question about that email, and that we can move, do this next Tuesday.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Be it resolved, the Woodstock Town Board supports the submission of a grant application for New York State NYSERDA Community Heat Pumps Pilot Program, PON number 4614, for the purpose of performing a scoping study for the possible community heat pump system at the center of town.
Second?
Okay, any discussion?
I would just like to point out that I sent an email around to the board noting that while I do support the heat pump project, I certainly am not going to be able to devote the time that is necessary to work on the community outreach that I believe such a project entails. They're asking us to consider in the retail area. And I would like to say that we need considerable outreach to both the Chamber of Commerce and all of the retailers should we go forward with filling out this application.
Great. Laura, I think you expressed interest in working on this.
Yes, I did. And I agree that community outreach is a good idea. Phase one, of course, is the investigation. So we're not jumping into doing a community heat pump. Phase one is the investigation of the possibilities in town. So I do agree with you that somewhere along the line, we do need to do community outreach. However, we're not signing up to actually dig any ground at this point in time, just a reminder of that, because this phase one is just investigation of what could be possible in town. And yes, I did agree to work on this.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Be it resolved to accept the resignation of Vanula Cordes from the Woodstock Human Rights Commission and be effective April 13th, 2022, and be it further resolved to thank Anula for her years of service to the town.
I'll second that. And Anula, just to say, she's been a real champion in this town to really represent folks that feel like they haven't been heard or need a voice, or it has helped really amplify those voices. And I will certainly miss her leadership with that group and thank her for all she's given to our town.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
and I
Debbie.
agree. I think Anula has been great in that position, and she's a wonderful person and also great in that position.
She also, I will say, was on the original task force that I put together that helped create the Human Rights Commission. So if it weren't for her, she was an incredible driving force in getting that up and running. So with that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ashley, do you have some public be heard?
I have Frank Amy.
Frank, actually, before you start, I was going to have a resolution. I had it on the agenda the other day for the cleanup, but I've held back on that. The town engineer, I didn't get to talk to him today, but I think there was either a glitch or he's come up with another alternative that might be more practical to the case. So he asked for a little bit more time before we offered that. So Frank, I'm sure that's what you're going to talk about. So
Yeah. Yes. I just had a question. I'd like to know when we can expect a written plan for removal of the material and testing of the water and material so that my council and engineer can review it.
Mhm. Well, again, I
still-
expected to have it today. The engineers asked for a little bit more time. So I'll.
Okay. Do you have any idea what the alternative would be? I don't see where there is an alternative.
Well, alternative
You
to
told
how
us
they
that
get
by
rid of it.
April it would be all gone at the court hearing.
Oh, I didn't
So,
say it would be
what's
all
going-
gone, Frank.
We'd see movement.
All right. Well, we're getting very anxious, as you can kind of understand, because we're going into our third year of this.
Mhm.
So, what have you got for us? And when can we expect the written plan?
Could give me a call in the office tomorrow afternoon after I've talked to the town.
No,
attorney.
why don't you tell me now? I mean, what's the difference between now and tomorrow?
Call the town engineer right now?
No, I mean, why do you have something for us now or not? Or
No,
just
I'm telling you
curious,
that
that's all. I'm not
the
trying to
town-
bust your chops. I just know.
Frank, the town engineer left a message that he wanted to hold off. He had a plan that we were gonna go out, seek bids for today. He asked me to hold off, that he was gonna make some adjustments to the plan. That's all I know.
Okay, so
when I talk to him
when do you-
tomorrow, I'll have a better idea.
Okay, so I just need an email with the plan so I can have my lawyer and my engineer review it.
Mhm. As soon as we have it, you'll have it. It'll be public.
Okay, I appreciate that transparency.
Thank you. And thanks for hanging in there. I know it's not easy.
All right. Well, it hasn't been easy. I want everybody to know that, because a lot of people seem to know about this in this town, and I don't understand why.
Mhm. They know about it?
Yeah, most people don't even know what's going on here. I don't know, but whatever. Maybe they
God,
just
we've been
don't read the
talking about it for
papers.
2.5 years.
Well, you're right about that. So, all right. Well, thank you, and please keep us informed. You can email Pam anytime. There's no problem with that.
Okay, will do, Frank.
All right.
Is there
thank
another
you.
person that wanted to chat, Ashley?
Yep, Cindy Murrow, or sorry, Gay, not Cindy.
Okay,
On mute, Gay.
You're muted.
you're muted, Gay.
Unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I was happy to see that the resolution, which didn't actually go through, but whatever, included the idea that it would confirm that the deal with the library would confirm all the state and federal requirements for the environmental laws. I don't know how much you all are aware that the March 17th Collier study that the library got included, quote, lead, arsenic in excess of respective guidelines, and some chlorinated solvents. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, I am a profound enthusiast of them moving to the Howard Miller building. And I'm not bringing this up because I want to shoot it down. I'm bringing it up because if indeed there's a serious issue with some toxicity on the site, the study also said that the septic system was of an unknown size. And the follow-up study was being done to do all these core samples and get more information. But I think it's a tricky business. And I was in touch with Jeff Collins, who told me that the information should be available 10 days after March 28th. I haven't seen anything of it. I wrote and asked politely, please, do you have it? But if indeed there's like serious contamination in the form of lead, arsenic, and whatever chlorinated somethings, I think that the town and the library should be really serious about investigating this and make sure that the recent Collier's report is publicly available and something that you all can look at as a town board. That's my 2 bits. I would like to see them move, but I don't want to see the town take on an environmental liability, which might get seriously expensive.
Gay, I couldn't agree more with you. And I just want to point out that none of the documents, the MOU or any of the resolutions that have been bandied about, exempt them from any building codes, environmental law, either state or federal. So they don't get around that. They can't get around that. And I would hope that, you know, if the report doesn't come back favorably, that they consider holding off, because, you know, the town taxpayer could put at great liability if we purchase an environmental nightmare.
Exactly. That's my concern. I just want to bring it to the attention of the entire town board, because according to their previous version of what might happen, they should be getting the new report with the new core samples like yesterday, today, the next day, like right now. And I think it's really important. And I understand that the resolution does not allow them to get past environmental laws. Nonetheless, I just think it's something the town should watch closely.
Oh, with bated breath.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Ashley, anybody else?
Yeah.
Sarah has her hand up.
Yeah, I would like to talk. It's my understanding that you were referring to the Monroe precedent, supposedly. What my understanding of that is that it was about the Rochester airport, and the people building the airport was a special district, and they were allowed to be exempt from the Rochester zoning because they had their own zoning board. And that's the way that works. The library does not have its own zoning board, therefore they cannot be exempt from Woodstock zoning.
Actually, that's not what the whole law suit says. And what the legal case did was actually create limited exemptions as opposed to wholesale exemptions. And it created a litmus test of 9 standards that that the host community would weigh in determining whether a specific project would receive exemption or not.
So I think all of that should be brought up to the board and given to them to review with regard to this exemption, that it's not just a whole hog exemption for a project. And that particularly was what Bennett was objecting to.
Well, it isn't a whole hog exemption. It's a very limited exemption.
Meaning,
and just to say here, that's been my understanding of that it's not a whole hog, as you say, you know, exemption, that it is.
And the board has received all the information from the library laying out their case.
Okay, well, it doesn't sound to me like Maria-Elena and a few other people really understood it. So I think it is great that it's been put down on the table for further consideration.
Well, they may not understand it, but I'm happy to discuss it further with them.
I also have a letter to read from Natalie Sear. Okay, should I go forward with that now?
You're almost at your 2 minutes, but go ahead and read it quickly.
Okay. Hi, Bill. I just got home from a road trip and was notified of the MOU vote tonight. I am unable to make the meeting. Can you read this? Okay. Once again, my opinion is the MOU should not be granted, especially since we have not had public knowledge of the most recent environmental testing results of the site. I don't understand why this is being rushed. Why not wait until the results are completed or postpone the vote to a later date? This is a town water issue. It wouldn't matter who wanted to purchase that building. By the way, is there an underground oil tank on the property? Isn't it illegal to sell a building in that area with an underground oil tank, which may still have fuel in it? I thought a tank would need to be emptied and filled with sand or removed. Please verify. How would you even be able to secure a bond with violations? And the septic would need to be removed and replaced with a large one. Would remediation need to be looked into pertaining to the soil once it's disturbed? Why don't you want the other boards to oversee the project? You seem to be so concerned about the dumping of waste on town soil, but not so much now. I feel that this is being slid under the table in a quick deal. I'm sure you remember Jay Wink bringing up the aquifer and protection of the town water. This topic's very important. If allowed, please read this email tonight if the public be heard and at least distribute to other town board members. Thank you kindly, Natalie Sear.
Thank you. Okay. Ashley, anyone else? Okay. Before I call for adjournment, I will remind the board that we had talked about. So at the business meetings, I'm going to ask you each for a little update at the end of the meeting about the various liaisonships that you are overseeing and what progress you may or may not be making there, just to give the rest of the board an update. So with that, I'll call for adjournment.
Well, I guess I have two quick things, even though it's not next week. So just as a reminder, the board does have the water law, because that water team that you appointed, we did finish our work, as the board knows. Well, when we finished the work, I did send to the board the law that the team approves and the map that the team approves, as well as supporting materials. So I just want to remind the board members that they do have it, because at some point we'll decide as a board when to move that forward. So I just want to remind everybody that we do have that. And I want to give people a quick telecommunications update. And that is, as some people know, a few weeks ago, we did get the telecommunications law from the lawyer that we've agreed to hire. And the zoning revision committee did a complete review of that. And we met with the lawyer last night and gave him some recommendations. So we'll be seeing an update of that law. So that law is not ready for the board to do a final review because it's in progress. But I just want to let people know that that law is in progress.
Thank you, Laura.
Bill, quickly, even though it's a couple weeks away, and I'll mention it again next week, but just so it's on the radar, if folks are interested, on April 23rd, on Saturday, from 11:30 to 1:30, the youth center is going to be doing, or the youth of Woodstock, led by Patrick Acker, are going to be doing a Woodstock town cleanup, and the public are invited to join them. They're going to meet at the youth center at 11:30 on Saturday, April 23rd, and I'll mention that again next week. But just in case anyone's interested, they'd love to have volunteers come and meet some of the youth of town and help them clean up around town.
You know, Reggie, remind Patrick, I just saw down in the basement today, we have about 20 pokers that we used the last time we did a cleanup.
Yeah.
That they may want to avail themselves of.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Bill, I also wanted to announce that there'll be a noise ordinance listening session at the community center on Wednesday, April the 20th from 6 to 8. Maria-Elena and I will be leading that. And we have compiled all of the people who have written into the board about noise and about outdoor music. And we welcome everybody to come and make their voice be heard.
Okay, and I do have one more thing. To remember, Earth Day is coming up on the 23rd, and the WEC has done a lot of great work on Earth Day in terms of planning a great Earth Day event. And community center, I believe it's from 11 to 1. I'll have to double check that, but we'll have another meeting before now and then. But in any event, also on the 23rd, mark your calendars for Earth Day, because they'll have a lot of cool stuff going on.
Okay. Adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Take care.
Good night.